Sergeant Black here, and I'm going to try to show you how to put this Hogue Grip on the Ruger LCP. Okay, so before you start this project, you're going to need a couple of things. Obviously, you're going to need the gun. You're going to need the new Hogue Grip, of course. You're going to need something to punch these pins out. This is what I got. This should work very well. These are punches. I have a 1/32 and a 2/32 inch. You can buy these generally Home Depot, Lowe's, Harbor Freight, anywhere they sell tools. You can get a set of these punches. You're going to need a hammer. You're going to need something to put the gun on when you punch it out. I'm just going to use this book. We're going to set the gun on this book so we can punch this out. You can't just have it laying flat on the counter or you won't be able to punch out the other side. The end of the gun's got to be elevated, hanging off something. You could even hang it off the end of your counter. But you're going to need something to put the gun on, a couple punches, a Hogue Grip, a hammer, and you're going to need a beer. I recommend Miller High Life. It doesn't matter what beer you drink. You just want to be good and drunk before you start a project like this with small parts. So the first thing you got to do is got to take this little part off right here. And the way you do that is you take the smaller of the two punches. This is the 1/32 inch. And there is a little hole right there. If you just push that down on that hole, it pops off, and then you can just pull it out. So that little piece comes out. That's the first step. Second step is you punch out. There's a pin back here that needs to come out. So you're going to have to punch that pin out because with the new grip, they're going to give you a slightly longer pin to accommodate the new grip. So to punch that out, we're going to use the bigger punch, 2/32. And we're just going to hang the end of it off the book a little bit here. And you're going to take your hand, hold the gun down and hold the punch in your hand. Press down the gun hard so it doesn't go anywhere. Put the end of this punch on that pin. And just beat the hell out of it with a hammer until it comes out. So that's what we're going to try here. Let's see if this works. As you can see, that pin is now sticking out the other side. So I guess I'm gonna have to keep hitting it. It's not letting me just pull it out. I'm gonna have to switch to the smaller punch probably to get it all the way in there. It's still not all the way out. So I'm going to have to get yet a smaller punch that can fit through here or find some way to grab this with pliers and pull it out. As you can see, it's sticking out most of the way, but it's just not quite out. I'm pulling it with my hands and it just doesn't want to quite come out. So let me look for a smaller punch or grab a pair of pliers and see what happens. Alright, well I cannot find a smaller punch. And I don't know where my pliers are, so I'm going to use this thin Phillips head screwdriver. I'm just going to stick that in the hole and hit it with the hammer and see if it comes out. And we seem to be making progress. It's almost completely out. I'm just going to twist it and push. God, this damn thing doesn't want to come out. There we go. Alright, so that pin's out. It was a little tougher than I thought, but there's the pin. You're going to put that aside because you're going to use the one that came with the grips. So in the top of the grip will go on like this. There's already a pin in the top of the grip, so you're going to pull that out of the grip. We'll just try pushing it out with a screwdriver. There we go, that was easy. So this is the new pin that came with the grips. So we're gonna make sure we put that aside and be sure to use that on the new one when we put it back on. Now we're gonna take this and try to fit this over here. I guess we'll start with the front here and just try to slip it on and wiggle it. There, it's in place. Now we just gotta simply put the new pin back in, and we're done here. So here's the new pin. I'm just gonna push that into the hole. Make sure you put the narrow end in first. There's an end that's slightly narrower, so I'm gonna put that in first and just start pushing that through. And I'm probably gonna just tap it with a hammer here. And I'm going to hang it off the end of the book and just tap it with a hammer. I don't know if we even need a punch at this point. Okay, so it's almost all the way in. It's sticking out a little bit. I just want to line it up so it's even on both sides. So I'm going to use the punch again. I'm going to use the bigger of the two punches to do this. Now you just want to make sure it's flush. It's still sticking out a little more. I'm going to pound it a little more. If you pound it too far through, you can always pound it back the other side. It is about flush on both sides. So that is a successful job here. I'm just going to pop the clip back in it and see how it feels now. So let's talk about how it feels with the new grip compared to how it used to feel. And I'm going to say it's definitely an improvement. I don't know if it's a drastic improvement, but it's close. It just feels a lot heftier and thicker, and I feel like I have a much better grip on the gun. So for $10, this is clearly the best upgrade you can make to the Ruger LCP. It's definitely something I recommend doing. I'm not going to say it's night and day difference. It's still a small gun, but it's definitely much better to have this grip on there. I just love it already. It's much better. You know, it doesn't interfere with the magazine release button. It just makes the gun a lot better. Let's see how it does in my holster, if it still slides right in as easily. Here's the little Uncle Mike's inside the pocket holster I used. Oh yeah, that doesn't affect anything. It just slides right in. So I'd say definitely do this. If you got a Ruger LCP, get this grip. You're gonna love it. If for some reason you hate it, you wasted $10, just pop it back off.